I hit option space and it brings up the ChatGPT bar. Now I'm going to say m-dvc, my shortcut, and then I'll say, how do I remove background noise? And boom, just like that, it calls up the window, the ChatGPT window, and it's giving me the exact answer that I want. Hey guys, it's Ray here, your friendly neighborhood digital nomad with a slight obsession with productivity hacks. And today I got a special hack for you, one of my favorite AI hacks I've discovered so far, which combines the power of ChatGPT's desktop app with ChatGPT's memory feature. And we're mashing it together and calling it AI shortcuts. I know, much wow, right? But seriously though, I use this new hack every day now, and it's made a huge difference in my workflow. And I think it could make a huge difference in yours. So before we get into the solutions, let's wind back and talk about the problems that currently exist with AI chatbot workflows. And I've boiled it down to 3 main problems that I'm trying to fix with this workflow. And number 1 is logistics. Number 2 is redundant input. Number 3 is context switching. So let's break each one of those down. So what do I mean by logistics? Well, basically that's just all the steps, these little micro steps that you have to take just to get your question answered. So for example, you're in the middle of something and then you have to leave the current app that you're in. You have to go open up a browser or sort through all of your existing browser tabs and then find the right website, find the right chat or start a new chat, enter in all your details. I know it sounds like I'm making a big deal out of it, but all these micro steps, they add up over time and they take away from your productivity. So second problem is redundant input. And what I mean by this is constantly having to re-enter the same details over and over again. So for example, let's say you're in the flow and you don't want to have to navigate through all that nonsense to find the right chat or find your old chat that you want to continue and you just want to start a new chat. Well, if you start a new chat, you have to re-enter the same details that you have in the past so you could give the chatbot all of the right details it needs to know to give you the right answer. So over time, answering all those details will add up. So the third problem is context switching. And context switching is the phenomenon where you are focusing on one task, you go to do another task, and then you return to the original task, and you have to exert a lot of effort to get back to the level of concentration you had on that original task. And this is one of the most insidious problems with using chatbots right now, where you have to constantly leave what you're doing, go ask a chatbot, go navigate through all that nonsense, and then return, and you have to re-ramp back up. All of that time adds up over time. So the beauty of the new solution that we have here is that it addresses all of those problems. It addresses the navigational problems. It addresses the redundant input, and it addresses the context switching. And if you add up all of the time savings you're going to get with addressing these problems, you're going to see that the math is mathing on this. We're going to stack up all of the time savings, and that's how I could claim that we're going to 10x our learning with this strategy. So let's get started. And I'm just going to cheat here and use the free guide that I will be providing at the end of this video. Now, what you need is a ChatGPT account, of course. You need the ChatGPT memory feature, which comes included with the free accounts now. And you need the ChatGPT desktop app for Mac OS, and that is a paid feature. Now, to get the full benefit of this productivity hack, you will need the paid subscription so that you could download the Mac OS desktop app, because currently they limit it to that. I'm sure they're building it for Windows right now, but as of this recording, it's not available yet. But the good news is that you'll still be able to get most of the benefits from this hack on any platform using the memory feature. And of course, let's remember that over time, OpenAI has been releasing more and more of their features to the free accounts. So with that being said, we could get into the step-by-step instructions. It's Ray from the future here, and I just double checked the memory feature availability, and apparently it's not completely rolled out yet to all free accounts, but it is being rolled out eventually. So if you are watching this and you haven't gotten the feature yet, it will be rolling out. So hopefully by the time this is uploaded, you will have the memory feature. If not, it will be out soon. So this is just a quick overview of the step-by-step instructions. So we're going to cover installing ChatGPT desktop app, ensuring your settings are proper. We're going to cover the power of the keyboard shortcuts. We're going to cover the power of AI memory. We're going to cover combining the keyboard shortcut with AI memory shortcut. And we're going to create our own AI memory shortcut and put it all together and demonstrate the shortcut combo. Now, if you're an expert and you already have this installed, you go ahead and skip to the appropriate chapter. Okay, so let's get started with step-by-step instructions. We're going to install the ChatGPT app from the beginning. And first thing you're going to do is go to chatgpt.com and log in with your paid subscription account. And once you've done that, you're going to see this screen and you're going to go and click on your avatar at the top right. That'll open up this menu and you're going to click on the download the Mac OS app button. That'll give you a DMG file that you'll double click and install. And then we're going to open up the ChatGPT app by hitting Command Space as a shortcut to open up the Apple menu. And you're going to click on the ChatGPT app that's been installed. When you once you launch the ChatGPT app, it looks like this, and you're going to log in again with your paid account. So now that the app is being installed, we want to make sure that our settings are proper before we continue. So you're going to open up the side panel with the side panel button at the top left. Then you're going to look at the bottom and click on your avatar again, this time in the desktop app, and you're going to make sure you click on settings. From there, we want to check a few things. Number one, we want to make sure that this keyboard shortcut is set up, option space, and it should be set up by default. And then you're going to click on personalization. And once you've clicked on personalization, you want to make sure that you see the memory feature is turned on, and it should be turned on by default as well. So now let's cover the power of the keyboard shortcut. This is kind of the magic of the desktop app, and the magical feature that it provides is being able to launch a chat with ChatGPT from anywhere just by pressing option space. And this is amazing because now we address two of the three problems we mentioned earlier. One is it eliminates all the navigational and logistical problems. You now just have to hit this keyboard shortcut and instantly you have a direct line to ChatGPT. It also prevents the context switching problem where you don't have to worry about navigating anywhere. You could just have your thought, have your question, and have it asked instantly. However, there is one drawback with this method, which is every time you use this feature, you're initiating a brand new chat with ChatGPT. And this relates to that other problem we had, which is redundant input. You have to keep entering that input. So for example, I was trying to learn DaVinci Resolve as a new YouTuber, and this is my editing tool of choice as a new YouTuber. Of course, there's a big learning curve when you're learning a new piece of software, so a ton of questions would come up about DaVinci Resolve. And the problem here is, although I could call up ChatGPT for any question I had while I'm doing the thing that I'm trying to do in DaVinci, it would create a new chat. So I'd have to restate, oh, I'm asking about DaVinci Resolve. These are my specs on my computer. This is the platform I'm on, etc. So that is a lot of redundant details. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the shortcut in the first place. But is there a way to overcome that shortcoming? So that brings us to the power of AI memory. Now, just an overview of the AI memory feature in ChatGPT is it's actually a breakthrough innovation where the chatbot actually remembers things about you across different chats. Before, you'd have to enter all of your information every single time, and that's annoying and it eats away at your time, of course. So how this works with ChatGPT is it will acquire new memories in two different ways. In way number one, it will decide on its own when to remember a fact. It will determine, oh, that's important, I should remember that. Or number two, you could explicitly tell it, hey, remember this fact or remember this detail. So what's an example? Let's say you're talking to ChatGPT and the fact that you have an allergy to cow's milk may come up. ChatGPT may decide that this fact is relevant and automatically remember it for you. Or you could tell it explicitly, hey, remember that I have an allergy to cow's milk. Now in a future chat, if you ask it for a recipe for a birthday cake or something like that, it will make sure to suggest a recipe that doesn't include cow's milk. So that's a basic rundown of the AI memory feature. So remembering that you have an allergy to cow's milk is pretty cool, but something even cooler that I discovered is that you could set it up so that a trigger word or a shortcut can initiate very specific and complex instructions whenever you mention that shortcut or trigger word. So for example, in my DaVinci Resolve use case where I'm trying to level up on my skills in DaVinci Resolve, I set up a shortcut with ChatGPT so that whenever I mention m-dvc, it means I'm talking about DaVinci Resolve, and I specify my unique setup and my experience level with the software and exactly how I want ChatGPT to respond. So think about this combination, combining the keyboard shortcut, which means you could summon ChatGPT from anywhere while you're doing anything, plus the shortcut of remembering a complex set of instructions with just a trigger word. This means you could get exactly the answers you want from wherever you want on your computer. This is the game changer moment. Okay, so now we're getting to the good stuff, creating the actual AI memory shortcut. This is the prompt that I developed, and don't worry, this is in the free guide that I will be providing at the end. So the prompt goes like this. I want you to remember the following shortcut, m dash, and then name your shortcut name. Whenever I mention the shortcut, it means that I'm asking about X topic, and my goal is to do X. And here are some relevant details that you should keep in mind whenever I mention the shortcut. And now you list out all the relevant details, and I want you to respond in the following way, and you give your specific way, like I want step-by-step instructions. So what does that look like in an actual case that I used myself? So this is the prompt that I used for helping me with learning DaVinci Resolve, and it goes like this. I want you to remember the following shortcut, m-dvc. Whenever I mention the shortcut, it means I'm asking about the program DaVinci Resolve. My goal is to get answers to my questions and learn how DaVinci Resolve works as quickly and easily as possible so I could get to finishing my video editing project. Here are some relevant details you should keep in mind when I mention the shortcut. I'm just starting out learning DaVinci Resolve, so make your explanations accessible to a beginner. I'm running DaVinci Resolve Studio 19 beta on a desktop Mac OS on a MacBook Air M1, and I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. The operating system is Sonoma 14.5. I want you to respond in the following way. Provide simple and clear step-by-step instructions on how to solve the problem. So with that prompt, it really condensed all of this redundant information that I have to keep telling ChatGPT for every new conversation. It is now being condensed into 5 characters. So let's try this out. Okay, so I wanted to show you what it looks like when you actually paste in the prompt. And so I already have my DaVinci Resolve shortcut programmed, but let's see what happens when I re-enter it. It should already know, but maybe this will just update it. So let's just see what happens. So we entered the prompt, and you could see here that it says memory updated. And you could roll over that and see the details that it remembered with this particular memory. Okay, so now let's start a new chat and try out our new shortcut. So m-dvc, how do I remove background noise? And there you have it. So you could see that in just 5 characters here, I communicated everything it needs to know to give a very specific answer. Okay, so to show you the full power of this combo, we're going to open up the ChatGPT app, but we're going to minimize it, right? So there's no existing chat that it's going to continue, and it's going to be out of view. So I have DaVinci Resolve open now, and I'm just going to simulate what it was like working on my project, and I'll have 100 questions come up, and I'll just use the ChatGPT shortcut. I hit Option Space and it brings up the ChatGPT bar. Now I'm going to say m-dvc, my shortcut, and then I'll say, how do I remove background noise? And boom, just like that, it calls up the window, the ChatGPT window, and it's giving me the exact answer that I want. Let's let it finish, and boom. So how beautiful is this? With just those small characters and these few words, we're able to communicate exactly what we want, and get exactly the answer that we want. So I hope you could see now why this has become an essential part of my workflow and how it could become an essential part of your workflow. You could now be in the midst of whatever you're doing and get the exact answer you want without ever having to leave your program. So let's tie it all together. In the beginning, we found that the biggest problems with current chatbot workflows is 3 problems. We have the navigational problems, logistical, of having to navigate back and forth. We have the problem of redundant input. You have to keep inputting your details, and you have the problem of context switching. You have to leave what you're doing and come back, and then you lose your flow state. And with this AI shortcut method, you could eliminate all those problems and get straight to the answers that you need exactly how you want them without having to enter all of your details over again, without having to navigate away. I hope you found that as powerful as I did. I really do use these shortcuts every single day, and I'm finding more use cases for them. And I hope that inspires you to come up with your own shortcuts. And if you find something cool, don't forget to comment below. So what did you think? I hope that was as much a game changer for you as it was for me. If it helped you out, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, share with a friend who could benefit. It'll help them, and it'll be a huge boost for a newbie YouTuber like myself. And I'd love to hear your stories if you've implemented this. Oh, and if you want a summary of this, don't forget to subscribe to my Gumroad newsletter, where I'll be sharing this and other future tools. All the links are in the description below. That's all for me for now. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep optimizing.
Nomaditsu.